Is that the worst possible way to lose a game in stoppage time like that?
Sure, very disappointing. Especially when you, over long parts in the game, you have control. And we are controlling the game in possession, and we are doing so well. And we got 2 unnecessary goals, very avoidable.
Did it feel like they were quite soft goals to concede? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, that's our feeling. And we concede 2 soft goals where we should act better as a team.
What should the players have done in those situations then? What were you looking for?
It's so many things in that moment, and we have to talk, and we have to be aligned in such moments what to do, and that everyone knows the job, and as a team, and we protect our goal.
You said you liked parts of the performance. What were they?
I think there was, very good parts in the game. We had a lot of control in possession. We created good chances. We showed resilience. We came back, and then we scored a winning goal, although we thought it was the winning goal. And then it's so bad luck that the ball is on the line, just before the line. It's touched by Zirkzee, so that's a pity. You have to take this. So it's a disappointment, but I can take a lot of positives from that performance.
You mentioned Zirkzee there. He came on at half-time for Mason Mount. Was that an injury or a tactical decision?
It was a decision. He had some problems and he had an issue, and so we know the history of Mason, so therefore we took him out. But I think also Joshua is coming better in. We are losing the game, and I think he had a good impact in the game.
Does it feel like the biggest difference, particularly when you look at the first half between the 2 teams, that they started with an out-and-out number 9 and you didn't obviously bring in Joshua on at half-time?
But I don't think also before half-time we created our chances, and we had our good chances. So the best chance before half-time that was von Amat, and was after the cross of Diogo. And also after that, Mason Mount had a very good chance. So I think we had before halftime, we had 3-4, I think, good opportunities. And from there, 2 very good chances. And we should go winning at halftime.
We talked earlier on about the early season optimism after your first win of the season last weekend. How much of a dent can a result like this make on the team?
We have to take the positives, but also we have to learn, and you can't drop points. It's so unnecessary. If you protect the goal like we do, and then you drop points. And football, top football is about details, as I say. So we have to do better.
Andre, so close to coming away with a point here at the Amex. How tough is it to lose a game like that?
Well, it's difficult for us to accept now, because we had a good game. We had more possession. I think we had more chances than them. Unfortunately, they disallowed outside on goal, who was very important for us. But it's difficult, but we stay positive. We are big players, big club. It's the second game of the season, so a lot of big ambition this season. So we move on, and it's very positive.
Did it feel like those 2 goals you conceded were avoidable soft goals to concede?
Yeah, of course, maybe, but it's part of the game. It's football. Sometimes you make mistakes, and we came here to win. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but I will not talk about mistakes, because we win together, we lose together. So move on. Big game coming next week. We have to get ready and win next week.
You mentioned the positive start that you made. It did feel like it was a clean slate to start this season. So how much of a dent can a result like this make on the team?
I think it's, all it can be positive, because through the difficult situation and through the tough time, is the only thing to go through is to be together. So we'll look back, the action will see it, we will talk with each other, we will look the videos, and this only gonna be positive for us, because in the end of the day we are here to win, and we have to look what we did wrong. So I have no doubt about that.
You mentioned already, big club, big ambition this season. What is the ambition?
To win everything, and to win everything. That's why we are here for. When you wear this shirt, it's one of the biggest clubs in the world, so you have to go for every trophy you face.
There's lots of new faces in the squad this season too, particularly defensively. How well do you feel like you're all gelling?
Well, for me, it's good to have a lot of options. At the end of the day, we are man U players, so we have to adapt with each player. In the end, we have to be available for the mister, and he make the decision.
He's still in, but he shouldn't be scoring against Man United as much frequently as he does. But listen, them type of stats there, and you think, is it fate that it's just going to fall to him? But I think, again, it's work ethic, it's understanding where to be when the ball goes wide. We can talk about Maguire here, but I think it's a very good ball that comes in. Does put him under a bit of pressure, but I think he can go and deal with it. De Ligt dealt with a similar ball in the second half, actually, went with his weaker foot, but just got it and put it away for a corner. Even then, when it's put across the front of the goal, who's got the instincts to be in there? Who's smelling where the ball might come? Danny Welbeck before anybody else.
Yeah. No, I thought he ran the line so well today. It'd be interesting to speak to him because, look, Harry Maguire there, he knows. I think when you concede a goal and it's not clear what the mistake is, but you think maybe I could have done it, he'll be disappointed with himself there.
It's tougher today for Harry Maguire because De Ligt has come into the club as a signing. He's sitting there on the bench waiting, and everyone's waiting to see just what this back four is going to look like going forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, but I actually thought Harry Maguire grew into the game and played very well. I think he was the best defender for Manchester United, or best centre-back definitely today, as the game grew on defensively, and I was a bit surprised when he got brought off, actually. And we were talking, I think, if he had been on the pitch, maybe he'd have been the one maybe leading and vocalising to people to get into positions on that second phase from the set piece. Who knows? But it's it's when centre halves are being brought off in the game and it's not injury related. Sometimes it does, like this didn't happen in our era. It does baffle you a little bit. But at the end of the day, the manager's got to shuffle the pack. He's got a lot of players to make sure he keeps happy. De Ligt's in there. He looked comfortable when he came on, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't say that Harry Maguire had a bad game. I think he was very solid in most parts of that game.
Would he be in your first choice back four for Man United?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's again, the second goal was crying out for his leadership, him being on the pitch. That's what he does. If the game was played where balls were coming into the box and you were dealing with it, Harry Maguire is elite, world class. That is what he's good at. In that part of the game, Erik ten Hag, you would imagine, would have smelled the tide was going against Manchester United. We might have to deal with some set pieces. I've made 5 changes. I understand him wanting to get De Ligt up to speed, get him onto the pitch, but that almost becomes secondary then. If you bring him on, leave Harry on there with him, maybe go to a back 5. I know we might be sitting here going, he's been negative, but they might be taking a point home, But I genuinely think, I know it's all, we're all clever after the event, but I think Harry Maguire on the pitch when the second goal comes in, I think Manchester United are a tad more organised and then they deal with it.
João Pedro very much involved in that goal that Welbeck scored. When we look at the changes that Brighton were able to make as well in that second half, Adingra getting involved with the winner, Rio. Do you think this is the best group of attacking options that Brighton have ever had as a club? Yeah,
I don't think I remember them having the options that they have. And it's not like the standard drops when players come off the pitch. I think that's the important point. It's all right having the bodies, the amount of players, but it's also the quality that can come on the pitch. The standard doesn't drop. If anything, it stays the same or gets better. They're fresher, they're hungrier, and you saw the players that come on, they have an impact immediately. But I thought João Pedro, today he was outstanding at times, gliding past players, a work ethic as well. And I mean, he had a good time at Watford, and Tom Cleverley, I remember speaking to him, he was a teammate of his, always spoke glowingly about him. And I was surprised only Brighton were the team that came in for him, because I think as a talent, I don't think there's really much questions of him. But doing it at this level consistently, now we're starting to show.
Yeah, Brighton's top scorer last season, and it looks like he's picked up where he left off. Is the hardest thing going to be for Hertzler to work out how to fit them all in, Joe, and keep them all happy, which I guess is a good problem to have?
Keep them all happy is the key, but this is where I think the beauty of Brighton in terms of all these players are hungry, and Ciso, Bellegrade, all of them young, hungry, aggressive. So the lads who come on the pitch, we said before the game, we thought it's going to be tight, and we thought the game would be decided by the benches. Either way, both sides, both had experience, athleticism and youth on the pitch at the end. But what they got to do, Brighton, is they got to just keep that what they are, their identity. Young, they're hungry, and that was the key. That turned it. Having these players to come on, United didn't have to. They're bringing on Anthony, in all due respect, who's gone past that stage where he's happy to play 10, 15 minutes. He's an £80 million player. He probably wants out the door at Manchester United. They probably want him out. So you're bringing him on. So in a crucial moment when there's a ball that needs to be won, a body that needs to be put on the line to deal with it for your team and your club, he didn't do it. Cost his team. You know, and that's a difference. Whereas on the flip side of it, Minte, the running he went through, you know, that is the kind of workload you need at this club in the Premier League to win games. And then if you run your race after 60, 70 minutes, you're bringing on another young, world-class, hungry player in Ciso. They got a great balance. I actually got it. I think I may have got it wrong. I thought Brighton might struggle only because the amount of turnover of players is something that is unusual for them, and a new manager, a young manager, unproven. But all the signs seem to be that they'll just keep on getting better.
I think.
Sorry.
Well, what I'm hearing, the murmurs coming out of the club as well, is that, he's a young manager, but he's putting some heavy demands on these players physically. All mentally, obviously, and they've got a lot of information to take in, but physically, even today, they outrun Man United in terms of distance, in high-intensity numbers as well, were crazy off the charts. And before a ball's even played, their demands that are set as like the staple of this football club now, if you can't keep up with it, you won't play. And so you see the players, the hunger. Minter was a great example, but Billy Gilmore today, not renowned for running, run more than anyone else on the pitch. Like, it's phenomenal, the demands that he's getting and what he's getting out of these players. And then obviously then it becomes about quality at the end of that. When you're overrunning teams and you're demanding like that, but then there's quality as well, that's a good recipe.
I read an interview with Jason Steele as well, and he was talking about the fact that the manager's younger than him, but he said everything about him since he arrived here screams boss. He just seems to have that aura.
Yeah, well, players can smell that. You know, it's like when we walk into a changing room when a manager comes in, within first 5-10 minutes of the first meeting, you're sitting there, you're sussing them out. And he'd have had that. And then you get on a training pitch and you go, well, okay, what's his volume like? What's his authority like? The way he's talking to you, is it connecting? And at the moment, it seems to. The acid test comes when you lose a few results. They've won 2, the top of the league. It's going to be brilliant here now. But when you get to Christmas and they've lost a few games,
from Brighton's point of view, as we said, the strikers were on. They kept going. Came from originally from a corner actually that Manchester United couldn't clear.
Yeah, they did. And there's one thing we was always taught when we was younger: try and keep the ball alive. And I think that's exactly what they did. But this nice, delicate pass that Owen highlighted from Yari was perfect, and Dingo just sees that there and just stands the ball up into the space. The biggest problem is why is there so many Brighton players free on that side of the pitch?
Come on then, Owen, from Manchester United's defensive point of view.
Well, your left back's pressing when he should be in his position. Martinez is out of position and there's nobody at the back post. João Pedro's got to tap in. You watch when it's a brilliant ball by Dingo, by the way. Watch the reaction from all United players. Where is everyone? Look, it's the second phase of a corner. It happens, right? Everybody wants to get to the ball. But if the players are out of position, somebody just needs to fill in.
There's 8 United players in the box there, you know.
That's the last minute of the game. You can't lose a game like that. You just can't. Somebody just needs to fill in and see, Shawnee's out of position, I'm going to have to fill in. Not saying you are, but you got to fill in. And it's like, to leave that there, Erik ten Hag would be fuming.
But that's where you go back to the conversation earlier about having more than one leader in the team, because if there's more than one leader in the team, they pull people into positions. Even if somebody's out of position, they'll say there's a man behind you, like kind of back up. But everybody's just, in many ways, just caught ball watching. They don't know, nobody even knows they're there. That's why they're so surprised when the ball goes over there and Pedro headers it in the back of the net.
It'd be good to actually see it again, because there's so much in it, you know, where you think Martinez is not in natural position, he'd probably be there.
Maguire's gone off by this stage. Does that affect anything here?
Yeah, and watch Martinez. That's your left-sided centre-back. He goes out to the ball, so he's out of position. So look, he's out of position again. The left-back's out of position, Dallo. He's pressing Adingra there. So there's nobody in their natural position, left centre-back and left-back. Somebody fill in. Just somebody, just look.
But also, Owen, why does it take 4 of them to try and stop that cross?
And they still didn't stop it.
Yeah, there's already 3 there. So effectively, Martinez, when he misses the first block at the edge of the box, he can kind of run back towards his position.
I mean, that's heartbreaking for Ten Hag, because a draw probably would have been a fair result, I think, in the game, even though Brighton were pushing. But I think he said it last season, if you can't win the game, don't lose it. That they just lost that, and they didn't need to.
And that is the 6th time in the Premier League under Erik ten Hag they've lost a game after the 90th minute, after they got back on terms as well with the deflected effort from Ahmad.
Yeah, and I thought at kind of this moment they were pushing. Zirkzee come on, he tried to give him something different. Ahmad, he's just a brilliant player. If he gets onto his left foot, you're in trouble. Obviously, it takes a bit of a deflection, but we just highlight. You just see Zirkzee here. He's the one. He sees that space behind. Brighton are a little bit high, makes a run. Okay, it doesn't come off, but poses a threat. Watch this little flick from Kobe. That's beautiful. Kobe was amazing today, and Ahmad makes a brilliant run in behind. Just wants to get onto that left. Hinshelwood needs to push him down the line, make him use his right foot. He doesn't. And like Shawnee, you guys are too good, too clever. We allow you to do what you want, you're going to get punished.
Yeah, but I think the way Brighton was set up then in that little phase of play made that pass a bit easier to play.
What, the high line?
Yeah, as soon as Kobe gets that touch, it's one pass beats the whole entire squad. And from then, defenders don't like to be running full tilt that way. And once it's that, it gets him.
This was the moment, Owen, where United thought they'd gone 2-1 up.
Yeah, it should have been. It was a brilliant counter-attack. And we said about, Xerxes and Garnacho, get the players on that can affect the game. This is brilliant. They're a little bit too open, biting, bit stretch. Brilliant run from Bruno Fernandes. Timed it perfect. Xerxes misses it there, but because I said before, because he slides, he's offside, and it just comes off him as a ricochet, and that's why he's offside. So unlucky, but obviously it was offside because he was. That's why Tanag was saying out.
Yeah, but it looks like he actually means when he gets up. It kind of looks like he moves his knee towards the ball. It doesn't look like he just gets up. It looks like he's actually trying to.
But if he was on his feet, he could get out of the way. But because I think when you're sliding, I don't think you can get out of the way, can you?
Yeah, but I mean, like when we both said, when he slides for that first cross, the ball's already past him. So effectively, he doesn't really need to go to ground, I would have thought there.
And of course, it was a familiar name that put Brighton in front in the first half. His 100th career goal against the one where he scored his very first one, Danny Welbeck, who you played with.
Yeah, everybody loves Danny Welbeck. He's the nicest. I would say a kid, but he's not a kid anymore. He's in his 30s, but
this could have been avoided as well.
Yeah, defensively, I think again it goes back to the second goal. No pressure, Dalot, Mazraoui there, on no pressure on the ball. Look at this from Dalot. Get out to him. Get out to João Pedro. There's no pressure on the ball. Harry Maguire lets it go when he shouldn't. And again here, Mazraoui, who I thought played well, he's got to get pressure on the ball, and Harry Maguire just leaves that space, and it's a brilliant ball, isn't it? Behind his back.
It's a great ball, and it's great positioning from, I think, Welbeck. But at the same time, again, why isn't Martinez kind of pushed over? I feel like their two centre backs need to be a little bit closer. If Maguire goes, he should kind of trail, but he gets stuck behind Dalot and he doesn't recover after that. And Welbeck sees that.
So that's his 100th career goal. This is his first for Manchester United back in 2008 against Stoke.
How about that for a goal? Never knew Danny had the big ping, but brilliant. Look how young he looks there.
Yeah.
Everybody at Man United.
You were at the club then,
weren't you? Yeah. Everybody at Man United loved him. Honestly, it's a shame that he actually left because he wasn't playing enough, but he would have been an amazing squad player, and he's still producing the goods now. The only thing with Danny was fitness, but I think it seems to have sorted that out, and brilliant to see him doing so well.
And what a start for Fabian Herzler at the age of 31 in the Premier League.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better start. You go to Goodison Park, which any team seems to struggle at Goodison Park for whatever reason. They pick up a result there. They play against the Man United team at home. They pick up a result there. I think it's put them in the right place to pick up their momentum and pick up as many points as early as possible early in the season.
Have you seen in the two Manchester United games so far this season much difference to last season?
No, I haven't, no. But maybe that will come. But I haven't seen it. I think Man United's biggest issue last season was goal scoring. That still looks like it'd be a bit of an issue. Marcus isn't firing. Ahmad's got some moments, but still he's a really young player. Striker position, obviously Højlund is out. Xerxes, you need a guarantee at the top of the pitch. Bruno started he's our best player playing as a number 10, and he's playing out of position as a striker. So I think goal scoring is a big thing. And if you look at the fixtures coming up, Liverpool, Southampton away, Palace away, Tottenham, Villa, they're all tricky games. So the Fulham game, that could have been a draw as well. So they need to find something really quickly.
Do you think they create enough chances though? Yeah. I don't feel like watching that game. I don't feel like from the wingers they do enough to put enough chances in front of Xerxes or whoever may be that leading striker.
But again, it probably goes back to the striker. If Bruno can play as a 10, he'll create, won't he?
Yeah.
So obviously Marcus needs to do a little bit more. Ahmad needs to do a bit more. But if Bruno's playing up there, then there needs to be a striker in there first.
I just feel like they don't, when they do get in those attacking thirds, they don't put enough people in the box. I think if you look at the chance that he had, I think when he goes to cross the ball in the first, I think it was Kobe, there was nobody inside the 6-yard box. And then if you look at Brighton, even if they do get caught going the other way, they still have 3 or 4 options in and around that area for someone to be able to pick out a pass.
Yeah.
OK, let's get some Manchester United player reaction. Here's the goalkeeper, Andre Onana.